Hey guys, welcome to the Brad Johnson Show. I'm your host, Brad Johnson. Of course, that's who I am, that's why I'm here, that's why the show is named after me. So, for those of you who don't know, I am author, writer, novelist, playwright, poet, essayist, columnist, bard, speaker, influencer, thought leader, and now actually a business coach, plus globetrotter, unbelievably successful business owner, startup creator, and a professional scuba instructor. As you know, if you've listened to this podcast before, I started this podcast because I knew that it was time for me to give back, okay? There's so many people in this world that just have seriously messed up lives, but mine isn't, okay? And I have all the answers, so now I'm saying you're welcome. I don't have to share my knowledge with you all, but I am. I will. You're welcome. Okay, so today, amazing show. We're not answering your questions, no. We're not taking a trip to the wellness well, no. You may be saying, Brad, what is going on? Where is the Brad Johnson Show that I know and love? It's still here. Fear not. We are dedicating this show to a very good friend of mine, a man whose life I have changed beyond recognition because I showed him exactly how to take massive freaking action. He's the first graduate of the Brad Johnson Show course at bradjohnsonshow.website/course. This is going to be an amazing interview. You guys are going to want to stay tuned until the interview. But until then, let's get into the show. Hit it, James.
Brad Johnson Show. 3, 2, 1. Ignition. Blast off. Welcome to the Brad Johnson Show.
I'm Brad Johnson, and I'm turning losers like you into winners like me.
The Brad Johnson Show with your host, Brad Johnson.
Get ready to start winning.
And now your host, Brad Johnson.
Hey, I'm your host, Brad Johnson. Here as always with me is the assistant to the host, Mr. James Kirkland. Welcome to the Brad Johnson Show, where we turn losers like you into winners like me.
Sorry, there's a little bit of a delay because I'm phoning in over the internet. So
yes,
excuse any interruptions. It's not my fault.
As you can tell, James is not here in studio.
I apologize in advance for any interruptions.
Yeah, his voice sounds worse than usual. That's how you can tell he's not in the studio here. But you know, the show.
I sound much better in person, I assure you.
The show must carry on, so we are carrying on with the show. Thanks so much for being here, where I can pour my buttery voice into your brain cavity. Okay, James, this is going to be a big show. You know.
You're telling me.
We are shaking things up.
Shaking
things up. We've had some incredible students come through the course so far. I say incredible, but I'll be honest, they weren't really incredible before they came through the course. You know?
Well, I haven't taken the course yet, so I don't know who you're talking about.
Well, that says a lot. I don't even know, though, if you could call these students, like, average. You know, I think subpar.
The fact that they thought about taking it means they're above average to begin with.
Yeah, so I'd say they're above subpar. Like, maybe wherever that is, okay? Like, right above subpar there. That's really the word that comes to mind. But today's guest, he has excelled, okay? He has excelled. And, well, maybe that's a strong word.
We're not just talking spreadsheets here, people.
Yeah. But maybe excelled is a strong word. I mean, he's done okay. But anyway, so we're going to be interviewing him today and talking about the success that the Brad Johnson Show and the bradjohnsonshow.website/course has brought to his life. But before we get to that, on this show where I help you salvage the wreckage that is your life through my tried and true answers that are guaranteed to change your life, maybe even for the better. But before we get to your burning questions, it's time for a word from our sponsor.
Are you tired of being tired? It's probably because your sheets are actually basically a plastic tarp. How does it feel to sleep on a plastic tarp? I wouldn't know, because I sleep on cast bar sheets. These things, I'm telling you, man, it's like sleeping on a cloud made of sheep and puffed baby angels. For a limited time, you can get a crazy discount by using the promo code PREOWNED. Get 50% off. And remember, there's a 3.5-day guarantee. So if you don't love them after 3.5 days, simply return them and get a discount on your next pair of sheets. Castbar Sheets. Sleep like a dead person.
All right, Castbar Sheets coming back for another sponsorship. Gotta love those guys. They're fantastic. You got Castbar Sheets, right, James?
Oh yeah, totally. I sleep on nothing less.
Yeah.
Speaking of subpar, I don't allow subpar sheets in my house.
Who would? Okay, sleeping is so important. Like I do as much of that as possible. And especially during meetings, I find that, if I bring my cast bar sheets with me to a meeting, the meeting goes by so much faster, and I feel like I get so much more out of it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you've been to a few sleeping conventions, haven't you?
Well, the conferences for sleeping like that, they are intense.
Wow.
It's amazing like how exhausted you can get after being at a sleeping conference for a weekend. It's amazing. But it's so good at the same time because you walk away there and you open your bedroom door and your bed just doesn't even look the same. It's world changing.
Your whole outlook.
It does. It really does. All right, so we're just gonna jump straight in here to the interview because I can't wait any longer. Okay, like I said, having so many students. Well, so first of all, the website crashed because we had so many people trying to get the course, and servers can only take so much. If I designed them, they probably would have been fine, but servers can only take so much when they're not designed by me. So we crashed it. Then some people got on, and so we've had this nice crop of students, but it really takes a special someone to graduate from the Brad Johnson Show course. Okay, and the guy that we're talking to today, he is a very special someone, all right? So I met this guy actually at a conference. We were in Sacramento, and huge conference, tons of people. And, he came up to me. He recognized me out of the crowd because if you know me, and you obviously do because you're listening to this podcast, he recognized me out of the crowd. And most people do. So he came up to me, and he's like... I was just like, dude, okay, enough paparazzi. I have to deal with this all day long, and these raving fans and, people, throwing flowers at me and stuff everywhere I go. I was just like, I can't take this, man. I want to get away from this conversation. But he was so persistent, and that really, it stopped me. I was like, oh, this guy's persistent. He wants it. I could tell there was a fire, there was a drive, and it was nearly probably a quarter of the fire and drive that I have. It was off the charts. Okay, so I'm talking with this guy. I mean, his life is a mess. I mean, he is totally losing at life. The hashtag loserly. Yeah, that was this guy. I mean, he's talking to me. He's like, Brad, what's the answer? He said that I bought all the courses. I'm thousands of dollars in debt, and all the education that I've gotten for all these courses. I just have no hope. You know what I told him? Well, first of all, I was like, okay, come on, dude, let's go for a drive. So get my Rover, and I was like, no, don't sit up front. You can sit in the back, okay? It's probably safer for you back there. So we got in my Rover and we're driving, and I'm just like, you need to like clear your head here. And then I was like, I'm gonna drop a wisdom bomb on your head right now. Okay, you ready for this? I was like, I turned around, like he was in the backseat of the Rover. I was driving, and I said, dude, take freaking massive action, bro. And bam, his life has changed, and it hasn't been the same since. So ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome my friend, my buddy, my partner in making tons of money, being an entrepreneur, and blowing things out of the water, Mr. Matt Parker. Mr. Matt Parker, how are you today?
Wow, I am amazing, Brad. It is so great to be on the show today. How are you?
I'm great, and what you said right there is so true. It is amazing to be on the show.
It truly is. Like, I am just blown away to be on the air with so many listeners.
Yeah, there's tons. There are tons. And
I would know as the assistant host, the privilege is to be here every time. So yes. I agree.
Okay, so Matt, you are sitting in the chair, well, not the literal chair, but as the interviewee, you are sitting in the chair of some of the biggest names.
We're doing.
Mom, I'm actually on a podcast right now. So I need to have this time to myself.
Okay. Are we good, Matt?
Yeah, you see, so right now I'm actually living with my parents, and
whoa.
Sometimes I found that it's such an incredible opportunity.
Okay.
And like the problem is sometimes parents just don't know when to move on. And I think that's kind of the biggest issue I'm running into right now.
Yeah. Dude, I hear you. That is, man, that's rough. So what brought you to that point? So you're getting massive success from the course, right? I mean, you're blowing it out of the water. So is it more like your parents are living with you?
Yeah. You could put it that way.
Okay. Yeah.
I've definitely kind of taken charge of this situation, and
that's what leaders do.
And I'm just trying to look out for the people around.
Yeah, no, so totally. I understand. So Matt, okay, there's a moment I feel like in every entrepreneur's life where they realize that this common folk stuff is not for me. Did you have that kind of experience where you were just
I definitely did.
What was it that brought that on for you?
So once I started listening to the Brad Johnson show, and just opened my mind to what was truly possible.
Yeah.
And the more I listened, the more dissatisfied I was with my current position.
Yes, I hear that story so often.
Really what we try to promote through the show is being dissatisfied, being angry, being, just fired up and annoyed, and that's how you enact change. So that's awesome.
That angst that just built up inside me is what made me pester you on that night and got me into the back.
I remember that so well, man. I wanted to punch you in the face. That was amazing. That was well done. Well done. What gave you that tenacity? What was the drive behind that? Because I see so many people that are just lackadaisical and they would have given up because I'm a very hard person to get in touch with because I'm so famous and so successful. So, like, what for you made you keep trying?
So what actually brought that urgency to the situation was that after purchasing this educational course, I was so in debt that I was going to be kicked out of my house the next day for just not being able to keep up on expenses. Yeah. And I was going to be living on the street. And when you're faced with either living on the street or taking massive freaking action, you only really have one choice.
Preach it, brother. Okay, so that segues perfectly. You see how I like totally set that question up so it segue. That's what real interviewers do, real podcasters. So segues perfectly into my next question. So the book, okay, you wrote a book, and that's something that not many people can say. I can say it because I've written many, like a lot of books, but not everybody can say that. So what was it like? Like, what was your process for writing this book?
Well, I just found that through this transformation that had taken place in my life, going from the bottom to the actual literal top, I thought, there's just got to be people out there who need to know about this.
Yes.
And so I just took the time out of my life to, try to interest other people to show them how much more is physically possible.
Yeah. So you talked about being there at the top. I mean, you and I, like, we're pretty much sitting right next to each other. I'm probably a little higher, but you're right there, close. Okay, and this is rarefied air, right? I mean, where working is something you love to do, and the entrepreneurial lifestyle. Like, what would you say to somebody who was who was Matt Parker, 8 months ago or whatever it was, that was about ready to get kicked out of his apartment? What would you say to that person?
I would say purchase my book. Go to my website, purchase my book. It's $29.99. Okay. You will not be thousands of dollars in debt. You will be $29.99 in debt.
Yeah, and there's a difference there.
You'll be thousands of miles ahead.
I love what you did. I love that. So good. So the book is Take Freaking Massive Action, okay? So what does that mean to you? Like, what was the freaking massive action that you took that really got your life started back on the right course?
Okay, so I found out that, so during that car ride, when you gave me that truth bomb of wisdom,
truth bomb
in the Rover, that's so true. Okay, so previous to that point, my productivity level had been pretty close to, I would say, 0. Okay. And so when you're not doing anything, it's really hard to, like, get anything done.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So that's when I found, something's got to change. Something's going to happen.
Yeah.
And then when I took that step into doing things instead of not doing things, is when life just turned around.
Oh, that is so good. That sounds like I said it. It's that good. Oh, man, when you're not doing things, nothing gets done. But when you start doing things, stuff gets done. That is, oh, man. Man, people, write that down, okay? That is a nugget, okay? That's probably bigger than a nugget. What is the next size up from a nugget? I don't even know.
A Volkswagen.
Could be close. Yes, very close to that. Okay, so Matt, I want to go through some more fun questions. Okay, so I want to ask you some more kind of just to get to know you questions, because people say that I really bring out the best in my guests and get them to talk about things that they never would have talked about otherwise. So here's a really deep question. Okay, you are a new addition to the crayon box. What color would you be and why?
Oh, excellent question. I'm
right?
so glad that you asked this question. Okay, so what I would be is sky blue. Okay, and the reason for that is I have launched. Okay, I've taken off. I'm in the sky. I'm in the blue.
Yes.
It is cloud nine.
Very good, very good. I love it. I love it. That's great. So another one here. What inspires you? Like, where do you go for inspiration?
Crayons really inspire me, actually. You know, when it comes down to just hitting a brick wall, a lot of times I'll get out my crayons and I'll start putting stuff down.
Yeah.
Stuff really starts coming to me.
So would you say that crayon drawing is one of your hobbies?
Yeah, it's a hobby. And a lot of times what I found helps me a lot too is just kind of going to the top floor of my mansion. And there's kind of this crow's nest up there where it's just windows 360. I can look out at the lake and I can color with my crayons on a blank sheet of paper. And if the inspiration is really not coming, sometimes I will get a coloring book up there. And that's just kind of step one. Then go into step two, blank piece of paper, and then the world is mine.
Yeah, that's amazing. That is amazing. What other kind of hobbies do you have? You know, I'm kind of a Camaro guy. I've got my classic, 69 that I have all modded out and stuff. You know, I got the rest of my garage full of cars and stuff. Like, what makes you tick? What does Matt Parker do when he's just chilling?
Wow, that's awesome. I'm also a huge car fan. I love cars. My most recent addition to my garage was a Koenigsegg. It's
dude,
the fastest car in the world, and it
language.
Really gives me a sense of power when I drive that.
That's great. I don't know if it is the fastest though. I'm pretty sure I own the fastest car, but you said it was the Koenigsegg?
Koenigsegg.
Oh, Seg. Yeah, no, that's what I said. Yeah, I really don't. I'm pretty sure mine. I have the faster one, but that's cool. That's cool.
Okay. Wow. Great. We'll have to drive around sometime.
Yeah. I think a race would be pretty cool, and I could kind of, we could just do a little race sometime. If you're ever in the San Diego area, you gotta hit me up, bro. I mean, you gotta hit me up. This would be
sounds great.
Yeah, hanging out, two entrepreneur bros, like just being able to kick it in the city, and
Yo, we could just take my yacht out to the island and chill on my island if you'd like.
Or we could go to my island. I mean, either one. That would be fantastic.
Oh wow. Okay, great. I mean, if you like golf, you could come to my island. We got a great golf course there.
Wow. Yeah, I've something, golf, that was actually kind of my next on the to-do list, for my assistants, was to get the golf course set up on my island. So that'll be cool. That would be great.
Well, you've got the grass, so you're halfway there, basically.
Right? Yeah. Totally. Okay, so here's the question that I don't ask all my guests, but I like to. And it is this: which superhero would you be and why?
Oh, okay. I'm definitely going with Superman on this one.
Okay.
And the only reason I say that is because he's the best superhero. There is a close second on that one, though.
Okay.
And I would have to say Batman. Okay.
Okay.
And the reason I would go Batman is because he's the richest superhero. Which one is better? That's kind of a toss up.
That is true.
Just being the absolute best and winning at everything, or losing all the time but being filthy rich. It's a toss up.
Unlimited power or unlimited dollars? That's really the question here.
Yeah, and what I've found is actually cutting that down. The happy medium is pretty much golden.
Yes, having tons of power, tons of prestige, and everything you need there, but then also having the money.
Yes, definitely.
Okay. So why do you feel that the book that you've presented for these people is so important? Like if someone was like, well, it's $29.99 and I don't know if I can afford that, and like what would you say to them to just, kick them into gear and make it happen?
Okay, what I would say to that is here's the decision you have to make. Everything in life is a decision. And you can make the right decision or you can make the less right decision. Okay? In my case, at least, other people could probably make the wrong decision.
I know what you mean.
In this instance, I think you could either buy 2 burritos or you could buy my book.
Wow.
You could either gain weight, possibly clog an artery, or you could get kind of a ticket to success for $29.
I love that. I love presenting it that way. I think too few people think about burritos when they're thinking about success. That's just it's totally messed up. They're totally missing out on what's really at stake here.
So how would you explain then the success of the founder of Chipotle then?
I would say you can have 2 burritos now, or you can have a book now and infinite burritos in the future.
Okay. It's like the old idiom of teach a man to make a burrito and he'll eat the rest of his life.
It's close to that. Only there's a lot of money involved as well.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Exactly. So what would you say, Matt, is the most common reason for people failing or giving up?
I would say probably stopping halfway through the book because they went to buy a burrito.
Yeah, they were like, yeah. Do you talk in the book about burritos? Would that be partially why?
Yeah, so in pretty much the end of every chapter, we do a little comparison against like decision A and decision B, one of which decisions always incorporates a burrito somehow. I mean, because that's what people relate to. That's how people ruin their lives.
Of course.
And so you have to write stuff down that people understand. And that's what I've done.
Yeah. That's really hard to do because most people well, I don't want to use the S word, but I mean, they're stupid. The most people, so trying to write stuff that they'll understand, you got to go to the basics. I'm assuming that those pages with the burrito, that's scratch and sniff too, right? Like to kind of.
No, we don't try to go too far.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah, I guess that would be a little far.
Some people just need to stay where they're at. Okay. If everybody was successful, you would lose the definition of success.
Yeah.
And so you have to create a distinction.
Yep.
You can't cater to everyone unless, of course, you're Chipotle.
Right. Which is such a beautiful business model in some ways.
All right. So Matt, I want to ask you this question. I think it's good for every entrepreneur to kind of look inside and take a look at the other side of things and ask the question, what am I not good at? Because that's the way that if you find that, then you're able to improve, unless you're already there like me. But most people aren't. So for you, what is the thing that you're just not very good at?
I'm not a good loser. I found that out when I was just a kid. I would play soccer and we would lose all the time, and that made me angry. I may have injured a couple other soccer players.
Hey, collateral damage.
That's right. And as a bad loser, I channeled that into being a good winner.
That makes so much sense. I love it. Good stuff. Okay, so Matt, I've asked you some amazing questions that have just dug so much value out for our listeners. I think they're going to walk away from this just knowing that they need to buy the book, that they need to do the course at bradjohnsonshow.website/course, and they're also going to know some of the pitfalls to avoid, what it means to actually be successful and all that sort of thing. And they're going to know, most importantly, what type of superhero you would be and which whether you would choose a burrito or success. So I think they've really gotten the golden nuggets out of here. But I want to just do this because, sometimes I just don't have time to ask you all the important questions or something that you want to get across that I haven't had time or just didn't really care about. So what is something that I didn't ask that you'd like to tell the audience?
Wow, yeah, I would definitely tell the audience, every single person listening out there, take massive freaking action. What is the first step to that? Buy my book.
Yeah.
$29.99.
Good.
You can get it on my website.
Do it.
Second thing I want my audience to know is I am creating my own personal
Well, it's actually
podcast
my audience.
coming out next week, Sunday afternoon. Be there, or definitely you will be square.
Okay. Right. Okay. Good. So, yeah. All right. That's fantastic. So, Matt, great talking with you again. Thanks again for you trusted me, and I came through for you like I always do because I'm a winner. So you're welcome, and thank you, and you're welcome. So anyway, let me know if you're ever in the area. Let's go hit up some racetracks or something in our cars.
Sounds good. Thank you guys for having me on the show. It was a genuine pleasure to be here.
Oh, Matt, the pleasure was all mine. Thank you. Goodbye.
And mine.
All right. What a fantastic interview, if I do say so myself. Okay, so now it's time for the sound of my social footprint. This is where I read what you guys had to say about what I had to say and say what I had to say about that. All right, James, I know the social medias were incredible this week.
My goodness gracious, they were basically imploding the internet.
Yeah, there's not enough goodnesses and graciousnesses to go along with this. Seriously. So
Absolutely.
Hit me with some tweet action, some Insta action.
All right, we got some great ones this week. A few from Instagram. This is from Flavira Do 80, and he says, "One life."
Preach.
Yeah.
Preach.
True words have never been spoken.
Oh man.
Then Sheriff Deputies NG says, "Good one. Keep doing what you do. You will get there."
Okay. Yeah, I'm not. We're already there. This is us here.
Listen to the podcast.
Yeah,
People
you'll
understand
know.
where we're at.
We're there.
Then one of our super fans, Michael G. Cox, says, at the 1320 mark, the Riff Master.
Oh yeah, that was from a couple episodes back. Totally. Oh man, super
Michael,
fans, they're the best. Yeah, and
Absolutely.
I am the best at riffing, and that's what I did, and I did it. I was the Riff Master. Hashtag Riff
Absolutely.
Master. Oh yeah, that's here. That's right here. What else we got?
Douglas Burdett tweeted, "I'm already feeling like less of a loser, and I haven't even taken any of your supplements yet."
Oh. Okay, so
Let the cat out of the bag.
yeah, Douglas letting the cat out of the bag. Yeah, so for those of you who don't know, the Brad Johnson supplement, it's coming. It's coming, and it's going to be world changing. I'm talking probably bigger than fish oil. That's what we're looking at here.
No way.
Oh yeah, way. Okay, so you don't even know. Like it's gonna be amazing. So make sure to like, follow, subscribe, all that stuff. You gotta stay in the loop for this. The supplement is coming, going to change your life. So thank you. Thanks for that, Doug. What else we got?
Every time we get a 5-star review on iTunes, we'll make another bottle of supplements.
That's basically our business model right now. So it's pretty revolutionary to do business that way. But I'm confident. I know it's gonna work.
It's all right. We'll make the first 5 bottles and go from there.
First 500, right, James?
Yeah.
First 500. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So what other kind of tweet action we got here today?
Our last tweet comes from Lewis Howes, and he says, "Nice."
Now, I don't know if he's talking about my hair or or the podcast or
so many things.
or my body. I mean, it could be anything. All right. So, all right, keep it coming, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook at Brad Johnson Show. But remember, if you have a question or you want to get your comment read on the air, the best way to do that is by leaving a review, and that is on iTunes, and the link is in the description of the podcast. It's also on the website, and you can find it on our social medias as well. So go over there to iTunes, leave a review, and that is the best way to get your comment heard on the air. So thank you again to our super fans there. You guys come close to rocking. It's amazing. It's so close. All right, so let's do our quote of the day. Today, our quote of the day is this, which is the quote of the day. True success is having the freedom to be yourself. And that's by Kathy Colby, who's a theorist and author. Now, I don't know if she just theorizes about her books or if she actually writes things with her authorness, but whatever it is, I would just say, Kathy, you're missing something. Because true success is having freedom to be yourself, especially if being yourself means that you're a winner, like me. That's how I would quote that, and it would be a much better quote if it was that way instead. But it isn't, so, yeah. Anyway, thanks, guys, again, for listening. You are the best podcast audience in the world, and, wow. Just wow.
Wow was right.
Wow is right. And, yeah, because I said it, and I'm right. So, all right, thanks for listening. We will talk to you next episode. Be sure to share the podcast with someone in need, because find someone whose life is messed up, and, birds of a feather flock together, so if you're listening to this, it shouldn't be hard. Thanks for listening. We'll talk to you next time.
Thanks for listening to The Brad Johnson Show, where every episode we bring you tips, tricks, interviews, advice, and answers to fix the mess that is your life, while helping you stop being a loser and start winning in business, health, and your personal life. Show us your face, tweet us your tweets, and Insta your grams at Brad Johnson Show. The Brad Johnson Show. Winners only.